The focus this weekend turns to 3 games that have great implications for the NFC South after a week in which the demotion of Eli Manning dominated headlines. Manning's consecutive start streak comes to an end of 210 after the ham-handed handling of his benching by the New York Giants, a 2-win team eager to evaluate its talent. General Manager Jerry Reese is on the hot seat, but Ben McAdoo may have the dubious distinction of becoming the first NFL coach to be fired this season, with ESPN reporting that a coaching change could come as early as Monday. As for the NFC South, the 9-2 Minnesota Vikings will take their vaunted defense to Atlanta for an early afternoon game against the 7-4 Falcons. Although the Vikings are comfortably ahead in the NFC North, the Falcons need to win to hang on to the second wild-card spot or make noise in the division, given that the Saints and Panthers enter this week's play at 8-3. Speaking of those two teams, Carolina travels to New Orleans for a 4:25 p.m. Eastern Standard Time game. The last time these two played, in Week 3, the Saints were dominant on offense and forced 3 turnovers in a 34-13 victory. Sunday night, the Philadelphia Eagles will take their NFL best 10-1 record to Seattle, playing an injury-hampered 7-4 Seahawks team. The Seahawks trail the Los Angeles Rams, who play at Arizona, by a game in the NFC West. Louis Rams, who happen to win the Super Bowl. 4 other teams have done the same thing, minus the Super Bowl, and, of course, the 1961 Packers, 1961 Oilers, the 1953 Eagles, and 1949 Eagles. Philly took care of a bit of paperwork Saturday, reaching agreement with wide receiver Alshon Jeffrey on a 4-year, $52 million contract extension. President Trump took note last week of the just under 24 players who continue to take a knee or in some other way demonstrate to raise awareness of social injustice and police brutality. At least 24 players kneeling this weekend at NFL stadiums that are now having a very hard time filling up, he tweeted last Tuesday. The American public is fed up with the disrespect the NFL is paying to our country, our flag and our national anthem. Weakened out of control. By the Associated Press's count, roughly 23 players demonstrated. Later in the week, the NFL and the Players Coalition reached an accord to provide $89 million over 7 years to spur activism, but there's no sign that the demonstrations, even though they have waned over the season, will end. Read more.A benching for the Chiefs. This one doesn't involve Alex Smith.Rather.